Hello and welcome to Intermittent Fasting for the Win. I'm your host, Mike Saunders, and I'm thrilled to be here with you. My co-host is Jalene Wygan, an experienced faster and fitness coach. We'll be interviewing fellow fasters from all walks of life, shining a light on their progress, their struggles, and their victories. We'll get their tips, tricks, and plenty more to help make you a winner with intermittent fasting. Hey, we're here today, Jalene and I, and we're going to talk about the clean fast. If you don't know, a clean fast refers to fasting without consuming calories or artificial substances that might disrupt your metabolic or hormonal effects of fasting. Jen Stevens talks all about it in her book, Fast, Feast, Repeat. And the goal is to keep your body in a true fasted state to maximize fat burning, autophagy, and to manage insulin sensitivity. So I'm going to ask you some questions, Jalene, and I want you to give the answers to this because you've been doing it a lot longer than I have. And even though I know all of this stuff, there's a lot of people that get confused on this. So let's just see if we can straighten them out, okay?
Yeah, let's just keep it simple, people. Keeping
Oh,
it simple, it makes your whole journey so much easier and more enjoyable.
and also it helps to keep them from getting shifting over into diet brain.
Absolutely. That's true.
So the first question, just general question, can I have any calories while I'm fasting?
Not technically, although coffee, if you look at coffee, all coffee has a little bit of calories. It's usually like 20 calories or less, but we really don't worry about the calories. If you're fasting clean, you should be drinking plain black coffee, plain black tea, or plain green tea with no sweeteners, no mint, nothing that's going to start the cephalic insulin response. Or
Oh,
water, obviously water,
yeah,
plain sparkling water too is fine.
no sugar.
No, yeah, definitely not sugar. As soon as your body tastes that little bit of sweetness, your insulin is going to pump because it thinks that you're going to be eating something sweet. And so it needs to pump the insulin to help you to regulate the glucose that's not coming in.
Well, let me ask you another question then. Suppose
Okay.
that I'm fasting and my breath smells like the chicken coop. Can I have a breath mint even if it has no calories?
No, unfortunately, you can't because again, it's a sweet taste and it triggers your brain into thinking that food is coming in. So, I know some people like to use like a food quality peppermint oil. Jen used to recommend that, but recently she said she went to get her fasting insulin tested. She didn't realize it was going to be tested that day and used a little bit of the peppermint oil before her appointment. And she saw a significant difference in her fasting insulin test. So she doesn't use that anymore. I know some people do, but she doesn't because she saw the difference. So, no, you can't have mints. You can't have gum.
No, gu-
You No gum.
no
No,
good. Oh my
no,
goodness.
no gum. Sorry, people.
Okay, so the list of what we can have plain water,
Hmm.
we can have sparkling water,
Yes, I love sparkling water.
but we can't have any flavors in that.
No, no flavors.
We can have black coffee.
Yes. And if you're listening and you think that you hate black coffee, I'm telling you, give it 2 weeks. Our taste buds regenerate, believe it or not. And within 2 weeks, I went from being super angry and hating black coffee to absolutely loving it. And I feel like it's a treat now. I promise you, it can happen.
Isn't it one of the most I just love my black coffee.
Me too. I'm drinking some right now, and it's 11:30 my time. Haven't eaten yet, but there it is. Well, people can't see it. You can.
Now, what about tea? Can I have black tea and green tea?
Yes, you can have plain black tea as long as it's just tea leaves and the ingredients, black tea or green, that's fine.
Doesn't
But you
matter,
can't,
black or green.
yes, you can't have peppermint, you can't have dandelion root tea. You can save all that for your eating window. We're not saying it's bad for you, but it doesn't work for a clean fast.
Okay. Well, what about a diet soda?
Nope. Nope. Again, it has a sweet taste and it triggers your brain into thinking food is coming in. Pumps some insulin, and insulin is a fat storing hormone. So as soon as that insulin is pumped, your body stops burning your own fat. And the goal in fasting is to burn your own fat. So
Well, we all
I personally don't diet drinks because of all the chemicals, but if you drink it, save it for your eating window.
so that brings us to why we should clean fast. And we've described what can be consumed during a clean fast. But let's talk about why we want to clean fast. So the first thing I would think about are the metabolic benefits. So talk about that.
Okay, so like I said before, our goal is to burn our own body fat during the fast. And clean fasting is really the only way that you can do that. As soon as your body tastes any food like substance or something sweet, it halts the fast. So you're wanting to burn your own body fat during the fast, and also you're wanting to have autophagy is when your body is like self-cleaning. It's eating up like old yucky proteins. It's eating, for me, I had a lot of skin tags. Autophagy ate up those skin tags and they disappeared. It's so crazy.
Mine did
So
too.
the Isn't it? It's just amazing. And I heard people talk about it and I thought, no way. These people are crazy. Well, I'm one of those crazy people now.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, how does clean fasting does it help with appetite control?
Yes, it definitely does. And I have a really good example of that. Before I started fasting, I've never really been much of a breakfast eater. I mean, I went through phases where I ate breakfast just because had heard we're supposed to eat breakfast. It's the most important meal of the day. So I thought, oh, if I want to be healthy, I need to eat breakfast. But before that, I would drink coffee all morning until about 11 or 12. But I had cream in my coffee and I always felt so hangry. I felt jittery. I just felt terrible. Soon as I took the cream out of my coffee and learned about the clean fast, I can drink black coffee all morning long. For me, it's not the caffeine in the coffee. It was the cream that was triggering my body into thinking food was coming in. Well, it was food. And just continually pumping that insulin, making me starving.
Well, you hit
So,
a good point there when you was talking about breakfast being the most important meal of the day. We know that that's not true, and
mhm,
a lot of people don't know who it was that made that phrase into
mhm.
his marketing ploy for breakfast cereals, and that would be the Kellogg brothers. They,
Uh-huh. Have you
they
done research on them? It's kind of creepy.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Although breaking our fast is extremely important, but that doesn't mean first thing in the morning, unless you do have an early morning window. And some people do. They eat early in the morning and then close their window, fast for the rest of the day. but a lot of us don't eat until later, and it's still technically break fast.
Yeah. I'm not
Mm.
one of those early window people. I like a late window.
Yeah, a lot of people do. It's
Yeah.
true.
So, will clean fasting, does that promote autophagy?
It does. Yeah, because we're using our own body fat to burn for fuel, and autophagy is happening when we're fasting.
Mhm. All right. Well, I think another thing that you could comment on, though, about why we should clean fast is just it keeps everything so simple.
Absolutely. That's such a good point. Such a good point.
I mean, if you're not having to count calories or you're not having to count carbs or you're not having to count anything, if all
Hmm.
you're concerned about is just, hey, I'm going to drink black coffee, water, and tea, and I'm not going to have
Hmm.
anything else, that just makes it so simple.
It really, really does. And then you can just focus on fasting clean, and then you open your window and you feast, fuel your body with the foods that feel good for you, and close the window again. And it's so simple. It really is simple once you understand what you can have.
Well, now there's people out there, and there's Facebook groups, and there's uh, all kinds of videos, and there's all kinds of information out there, but it's all not really good. And a lot of it, I see people talking about, well, you can have your coffee, but it really, really helps if you add some MCT oil into it, or if
Mm,
you'll drink the quote unquote bulletproof coffee, you know.
yes.
So those are not things that we should do.
No, because our goal is to burn our own ketones and our own fat. So if we're putting fat in our coffee and, those ketone products, I don't even know if they sell those anymore, then we're burning that fat and those ketones and not our own. I mean, our goal is to burn our own fat. So why would you want to add something into your coffee? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
It's crazy, but there's a lot of people that do that. But that's
Mm.
and if you look at it, those people that advocate for that, they're also they've got a bad case of diet brain going on.
Hmm. And a lot of those influencers that are telling you to do that are also selling those products, in my experience, anyways.
Yeah.
So, to me, a lot of times it's like follow the money. That
Yeah,
that will tell you all that. Clean
exactly.
fasting is free, people.
Yes,
It's
it is.
free.
It's
It
free.
really is. Hmm.
So the little flavor packets that you can add to water, even though they don't have any calories, they're going to mess you up too on a clean fast.
Yeah, yeah, it's going to trigger the cephalic-based insulin response, and your fast will be over, and it will make you so hungry.
Well,
It'll
there's
make you.
you got a lot of people that say, "Well, I can't. I don't drink coffee at all, or I don't
Mhm.
drink tea at all." But I just can't. But they'll say, "But I just can't stand to drink plain water."
Yeah, I've heard that. I don't understand it, but I've heard that too. But if you add any flavors, it's going to make you extremely hungry, and it's going to stop the fast.
Okay, well, let me ask you another question here. What about if you have medications that you need to take on a regular basis? And what if those medications, the time for them falls within your clean fast? Should you be concerned with those medications?
You definitely have to follow your doctor's orders. If your doctor says you have to take a medication on an empty stomach, then that's definitely what you need to do.
Mhm.
Um,
Most,
Supplements, I would save all supplements for your eating window, but definitely follow your doctor's advice on that. Sometimes some medications may say take with or without food, you can always talk to your pharmacist and see if they have another recommendation for you.
Hmm.
But I think it's really important. You need to take your medications as prescribed.
That's right. I agree with that. And I also agree with you what you just said about your supplements and the process that I do. I take magnesium, I take vitamin C, I take zinc, I take different things
Right.
because I feel the need for them, and I've witnessed how they've helped me. But I take them during my eating window, and
Mm-hmm.
that takes care of that problem altogether.
Yeah. You can take minerals during a clean fast. So you can take magnesium if it doesn't have additional fillers in it. And you can have salt, you can have minerals. Minerals do not break the clean fast. But everything else, vitamin C for sure does. It has a sweet, tangy flavor. So it does.
Well,
But
but
yeah,
if
minerals
you
are,
if you're taking vitamin C and it's in a gummy form that's got glucose added in, that
yeah,
makes you
yeah, yeah. That'll make you feel sick or starving.
yeah. Your tips and your thoughts on staying hydrated during a clean fast.
It can be a little tricky because you don't want to drink too much water when you're fasting because you don't want to um, throw off your electrolyte balance. So I personally drink when I'm thirsty. Um, I but I like water, so I'm never worried about being dehydrated. So drinking water is definitely important, but thinking that you have to push yourself to drink too much water can be dangerous too.
I have
So
a
it's
I have
definitely
a
a balance.
yeah, I have a friend who drank too much water, and it
Hmm.
really affected him in a bad way. It messed him up on certain things with his metabolism, and he had to get a doctor to tell him to stop drinking so much water. Uh,
Yeah. Well, because we're constantly bombarded with advice, drink so many gallons of water, and Jen's advice is always drink when you're thirsty.
mhm.
And our food contains water, even coffee. I know they say coffee dehydrates you, but it doesn't as much as we think. Um, so, our tea, our coffee, our food, we are getting in a lot of fluid. So it's a balance. It's definitely a
Well,
balance.
Je- uh, Jalene and I are actually watching each other. This is a podcast and it's just audio only, but we're watching each other on video while we're recording this. And she saw me just pour myself a glass of water. And I
Mhm.
don't know if she noticed it, but I put a pinch of salt in that water, some Redmond's Ancient
I
Salt.
Yeah, I didn't notice.
And I'll tell you who got me started on that is she's been on the podcast with us, Sheila Borey. She's the one that got me started on that. And
Mhm.
I tell you what, that's what I do to all my water now. I put a pinch of salt in it, and it just gives me those electrolytes, and that won't break that clean fast.
It will not. It's a mineral, so it's definitely safe.
Hmm. Another thing about the clean fast, and I want you to talk on this,
Okay.
listening to your own body.
Yes. If you are fasting and you feel nauseous, dizzy, that means it's time to break your fast and eat. It could be something has broken the fast, and you definitely need to eat. If you're not feeling well, there's no reason to push yourself if you're not feeling well. But if you're just feeling a little twinge of hunger, that's different. That's different than not
Yeah,
feeling well. A little twinge of hunger, what I always do, because you're going to feel hungry when you're fasting. It's just part of life.
yeah.
But what I do is I just try to push through 15, 20 minutes. If I'm still hungry after that, then I know it's time to eat. But usually I can distract myself and push through. And then I know I'm definitely in fat burning mode once I can push through that.
Okay.
Hunger is not an emergency.
Well, let's talk about, and this is not a part of the clean fast, but it applies to the whole fasting thing.
Okay.
After the clean fast is through for the day, and you're
Mm-hmm.
going into the breakfast or breaking the fast,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about what we should break that fast with.
Everybody's a little bit different, but for me, I like to break my fast with like vegetables and hummus. I like to have protein and a veggie to break my fast. That's how I feel the best. If I open my window with fruit, smoothie, anything that's sugary, it brings me up and straight down. So
Yeah.
I like to open my fast gently. Sometimes I'll do eggs and cabbage. I love, or and beans too. You know me and my beans. Um, but it's really important to open your window with something that feels good in your body, not something that gives you an blood sugar rush and then a crash.
Yeah, because if you have no glucose coming in for 12, 16, 18, 20 hours, and
Mm-hmm.
then you eat something that's just loaded with carbs, it's just gonna, your sugar's gonna go sky high. And then
Yeah.
what happens after your sugar goes sky high? It comes crashing back down, doesn't it?
Then you're going to need a 2 hour nap.
Yeah, a 2 hour nap, or you're gonna be looking for something else to get that high back up.
Yeah, that's so true. That's such a good point.
So if you're new to fasting, if you're just getting started in this, a clean fast might feel like it's strict, but
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what, and I know that you'll agree with me, over time, it'll all just become automatic and it'll really become easy.
To me, it's the easiest thing I've ever done in my life for my health. I don't have to count any. I just fast clean and then I just feast with the foods that make me feel my best. And then I fast again. And it's so simple and feels so good.
So let's do a quick sum up and just do a quick review. So
Can I mention one thing that I think we forgot to say?
go.
Brush your teeth. You can brush your teeth, although brushing your teeth might have a little blip in your fast. It's super important to have good dental hygiene. So you can definitely brush your teeth. What I like to do if I brush my teeth in the morning and then I'm still fasting and I feel like I want to freshen up, I will use baking soda to brush my teeth or to gargle with. That doesn't break the fast, but it's important to brush your teeth.
Okay. So to sum it up, if we're going to clean fast, we can have coffee,
Mm-hmm.
tea, water, and sparkling water, but they can't have any flavors. They can't have any sweeteners, real or artificial.
Mm-hmm.
The bitter taste of the coffee and the bitter taste of the tea is acceptable and it will not break the fast. But anything you add into that is going to break the fast, like the MCT oil or the other supplements or this, that, and the other.
Correct.
And we can't have mints.
No, sorry.
We can't have chewing gum.
Nope.
And we need to stay hydrated with water, but not drink it to excess.
Mm-hmm.
And we can put a little bit of salt in that water to help keep us our electrolyte levels up and different things like that. And as long as we do those things, we're going to have a good fast.
Yep. Definitely.
So it's not as hard as people think it is it?
It's really not. It's really not. Once you start doing it, it's going to feel just like a part of your life. It's my lifestyle. I don't even think about it anymore. I just do it.
That's the way I am. It's automatic now. So
And you did a
listen,
perfect wrap up there.
yeah, if 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 you're if you're just now getting started into fasting, or it's been a while since you fasted, and you needed a good reminder about the clean fast, I hope that we've provided it for you today. And we'll see you next time here on the podcast.
See you later, my friend. Have a great day.
All right, you too.
Bye, everybody. Fast clean.
If you need more information on fasting and want to join a group of people who embrace this lifestyle, let us recommend that you go to Facebook and search for Intermittent Fasting for the Win, and also search for Clean Fasting Jalene. Either of these groups will help you along the way. We also recommend that you read Jen Stevens' books, Delay, Don't Deny, and Fast, Feast, Repeat. Both of these books will give you valuable information to help you in your intermittent fasting journey.